How you doing? It's me, Father Guido Rondino. Look, they asked me to come here today to talk to you about the afterlife. In other words, what happens when you die. Yeah, okay. But for a lot of centuries, a lot of people had different ideas about what happens when you die. For example, Sister Veronica. Now, Sister Veronica, you know Sister Veronica. She's a little nun about this big. She got the brown eyes, the perky lips, the long fingers. Yeah, Sister Veronica. Excuse me, I digress. Anyways, Sister Veronica believed that when you die, that you immediately go to purgatory and stay there and suffer till God figures you suffered enough, then he bring you to heaven. That's what she believed. You believe that? Nah, I don't believe that. I personally believed that when you die, your soul would pop out of your body and float up to heaven like a little bubble in a 7-Up bottle, you know, tika, 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 tika. And you go up as high as you were good. If you were a good guy, you go right up to heaven. If you're not such a good guy, you go, I don't know, maybe 4 feet. Right there, 4 feet. And you hang there at 4 feet. Maybe at the local bar with all the hoochie mamas. And that's forever. You'd hang there forever. Now, a lot of priests, they say forever and ever. Me, I think forever pretty well says it. Forever. But now we know this is not true. Little history lesson. And in 1917, the Virgin Mary appeared to 3 Portuguese kids, gave them a letter, told them to take the letter to the Pope, telling the Pope not to open the letter till 1960. Yeah, and that's a true story. You can Google the Fatima letter. Anyways, 1960 rolled around, and the Pope, he opened up the letter. And there was 3 or 4 things in there, something about Russia, something about World War II, you know. But there was a 4th thing in the letter that had to do with what happens when you die. And the Pope, he didn't tell us about it. Why? What do I know? He's the Pope, right? Anyways, we got a new Pope. Pope Francis. Papa Francesca. Anyways. Nice guy. Anyways, he was here in the States about 3 or 4 years ago, remember? Yeah. When he was in the States, he called me up and he said, hey, G. He calls me G, you know. He said, G, come on up to Philly. We'll have some beer and wings, shoot the breeze. I said, yeah, okay. I don't have nothing else to do. So I jumped in the plane, flew up to Philly. We're sitting around, getting a buzz on, you know, sucking some suds. And Frankie looks over to me and he says, G, do you want to know what the 4th thing in the Fatima letter was? And I said, yeah, I'd love to know what it was. He said, the 4th thing in the Fatima letter was Vita est laburnum. Vita est laburnum. Life is a job. You know, and when you think about it, it's true. You get up in the morning, you got to wash your face, you got to comb your hair, you got to make the bed, you got to cook breakfast, you got to clean the house. It's work. It's a job. And because of that, God, he's going to pay you. That's right. He's going to pay you. Now, me, I thought he was going to maybe pay, you know, minimum wage. But no. God's going to pay you $13.50 for every day you've been alive. So this is what happens when you die. You go down this long corridor. And as you go down this long corridor, everything you did in your life flashes in front of you. And when you get to the end of the corridor, there's God waiting for you. He knows you're coming. I mean, this guy's sharp. He knows everything. He's like a psychic, you know what I mean? Anyways, he looks you straight in the eye and he pays you $13.50 times the number of days you've been alive, one lump sum. Boom. Yeah. And now he reaches over, gets the book of sin, and looks you up. And now you got to pay for your sins. I mean, you've heard that expression before, pay for your sins. It's true. And you got to pay in cash because God does not take checks or money orders. Yeah, that's right. Remember when you were a kid, you stole that little candy bar? That cost $10 for that sin. That's right. And all those little white lies, $10 a piece for those. The worst sin, murder. $250,000. That's right. Adultery, $200,000. Fornication, $150,000. That's right. Masturbation, I don't know, maybe 25, 35 cents. Hey, it's a cheap sin. You know what I mean? But it can add up, 35, 35, 35, 35. One day, you know what I mean? 35, 35, 35. I mean, it can add up. Now, then what Lord does is he looks at all your sins, he adds them up, and deducts it from your pay. And if you got enough money, he opens up the gate, and into heaven you go. If you got extra money, you can upgrade. The base in heaven kit is like a linen robe with some wings and a halo. You might be able to get a satin robe, maybe some wax for the wings, something for the halo to shine it up, and all that. But if you don't have enough money to pay off your debt, you got to be reborn. That's right. You got to come back to earn enough money to pay off your debt. You would not believe the number of mafia hitmen that had been reborn 2 and 3 times to pay off their debt. And they were reborn as nuns. That's right. Nuns are ex-mafiosa. And if you ever went to Catholic school, you'd understand that. Yeah, okay. Now, God being a nice guy, he makes available bonus money. If you do something good, he'll give you extra money for it. Here where I live in the villages, you can make extra money by helping a little old lady across the street. Here in the villages, you can make a lot of money helping little old ladies across the street. Yeah, well, look at it. I got to go. I got a dinner appointment with Sister Veronica. You know Sister Veronica. She's a little nun about this big. She's got the big brown eyes. She got the perky lips. She got the longer fingers. Yeah, Sister Veronica. Yeah. Hey, Eldino Benedetti, Buona Fortuna, and ciao.